Huge game this weekend, which means huge tactical discussion in collaboration with Full-Time Devils and Chelsea Fans Channel. Thank you guys for having us on. If you want to see the Chelsea, obviously head over to Chelsea's side. Want to see Manchester United, stay on Full-Time Devils. And also, if you want to see them both packaged together and more, come over to TYT Sports for some tactical discussion. So, Manchester United fans, what can you do to beat Chelsea? I'm going to highlight a couple of things that we noticed in that great win against Manchester City. First things first, the goal at the start of the game could have been a criminal error if Manchester City were to go forward and win this game and grow in confidence, something that I think Chelsea will not give Manchester United the chance if they get an early goal. So what happened in that situation is something that I have seen happen in many occasions before, but Valencia has been playing well, so people don't hit that criticism on him. And it's not all to do with him, it's what happens when you play someone like Mata, who's a very good attacking player, play him high up on the right. So what happened here against Manchester City at the start is Mata was caught up, the ball was fouled wide, Valencia stepped in, but as soon as that player drifts in the middle, he drove by Valencia. What he was doing is he started to jog back. Obviously, the ball then found its way out wide again. Smalling came across. Valencia needs to bust his ass to either get back in here, push Smalling into the middle, which I would love to do, because when the ball comes inside, that's when your midfield should shape up so that Carrick comes over to cover, and if it's Herrera or Fellaini to drop in, then they're hitting these two, and those two are going to be the pressure and the cover. Valencia can go back into that defensive structure at right back, but also, I mean, Carrick's not the quickest, so sometimes players go by him, and then Valencia should then bust his ass to get in front of the game, because if I noticed in that example, he was still behind the game, because when Manchester City found the ball in this area, Valencia was still tracking back, and therefore it was a run through the middle of David Silva, who was not tracked because Smalling was covering right-hand side in the wide areas, and then Jones was having to come across here, which left, of course, Aguero drifting in to put the ball into the back of the net. And before you know it, Manchester United were on the back foot, 1-0 down, and of course things worked out well and they came back and demolished and won the game. But Chelsea, believe me, are not going to give you that chance if they go 1-0 up. And who have they got? Eden Hazard, who loves to cut in from wide areas onto his right foot. So if this happens, that's where Carrick needs to step up. Come across. If he cuts inside, he needs to try and give him this lane to either go this way and move away from danger. He cannot allow him to drive through this area, because that's when Valencia is struggling to get back and Smalling's left with the opportunity to either go wide and cover his wide areas for the fullback pushing forward, or the wide midfielder, or stay in the middle and hold this tight defensive sort of structured partnership in the middle, but then leaves this gap here because Blin would have to cover. So it obviously comes down to decision makings. I think if Valencia is not so easily beat inside, this could obviously solve this, and if Carrick gives them a little bit more cover in the middle, it won't happen as easily. But that was just one example I noticed defensively. Going forward, things are definitely ticking. So let's talk about what Manchester United are doing well going forward, because things are just clicking at the moment. And you know why? Is when you have so many good attacking players understanding where each other are going to be before the ball's even there, that's when things start to move so fluid. And that's what I want to talk about, is fluidity in their movement. Because if you notice the equalising goal, which was a crucial goal to hit Manchester City back and put them on the back foot, which will be crucial against Chelsea, who don't concede as much goals as Man City, is when De Gea cleared the ball straight up. What happened? Fellaini pushed their defenders right back, because you know he's so good in the air. Herrera had no right to be in the left-hand side, but that's what I loved, is because he made this run from this area. He understood that Fellaini's great in the air. He got on the end of it, and then where's Ashley Young, who should be the left winger? He wanders into the box, and that is so hard to mark. When you've got a front 4 or 5 who just fluidly move between each other, they're so hard to pick up. And with Chelsea having these two defensive midfielders of Matic and Fabregas trying to pick up those runners, you need to confuse them. You need to drag them out of their comfort zone, because if Fellaini pushes up onto someone like Cahill and Terry, Herrera needs to make these runs consistently, Mata can tuck in, and then Ashley Young needs to do what he does best, and that is be hard to mark, float into the box as he did, and pick up the loose ball in the box and obviously get the equaliser. And this is what I mean by Fellaini. He needs to switch with Rooney, because when those two switch and Fellaini pushes on to the last man, Rooney can pick up the ball deep. And then what happens? You've got Mata making his run through. So fluidity in movement is going to be crucial, especially at Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea are good at defending and will not give you a lot of space. So at the back, make sure to not be caught with Hazard tucking inside, because he'll draw your defenders all over the place and he's very dangerous. So you need to make sure to tighten that up. Carrick needs to be all over the place. If the ball's on the left with Hazard, he needs to be covering Valencia. If the ball's on the right with either Cuadrado or Willian, whoever's out there, he needs to cover in there. And I think with that, and also consistently fluid in Chelsea's half, it could be a good day for Manchester United. It could be a crucial win or draw. I think they would still take a draw. I know Manchester United fans will want to go there and win, but that's what I think for Manchester United. What are Manchester United doing so well is that they're scoring goals in attack, but they're still conceding as they did against Manchester City. And one of the main reasons why, as I just talked about when I'm talking about something that they have done so well going forward, is putting numbers up there. Chelsea need to turn this around and make sure to hit counter-attacks, because at the moment Chelsea are relying on one man who is arguably one of the best players in the world at the moment, Hazard. You need to find his feet. Find him early, because what happens, if you notice here, Hazard commonly will start on the left-hand side. Mata is not the best defensively, and he'll get caught high up, and Valencia does not know what to do when you put him one-on-one. He doesn't know where to tuck inside. If you notice the goal against Manchester United in the first minute, as I just mentioned before, Aguero was able to get on the end of a David Silva pass, because David Silva drew the players inside. And when Valencia's faced with this decision to either keep the man wide or draw him inside, he doesn't know what to do. As I mentioned, finding Hazard in this space, because Mata will be caught up. And what Manchester United don't do well is they don't switch defensive formation quick enough. So if Hazard does what he does best, picks up the ball, drives into the middle, more often than not, Valencia will either get caught too high up and he'll try to dive in and win the ball, or he'll have to go inside, and then what will happen is you use your wide men, whether it is someone like Azpilicueta pushing up forward, and Smalling will have to be cut across. If you noticed with Manchester City's first goal against Man United, this exact thing happened, and this space was so clear for someone like Aguero to get in behind. So obviously Loic Remy is very good at getting into the box and getting on the end of these crosses. Get the ball wide to Hazard, get him turning Valencia inside, because if you get Valencia and isolate him one-on-one, he's not the best. He's doing well at the moment, don't get me wrong, he's doing a good job. But when you split this back structure of Smalling, Jones, Valencia, and Blend, who are somewhat a makeshift back four that are doing well at the moment, they are definitely susceptible if you take away their structure and if you make them go to areas that they don't want to do. So get the ball into Hazard's feet, drive inside, take Valencia either with you or create that wide space and throw up your fullbacks to get the ball into the box, because we know that Chelsea have been relying too much on some last-minute efforts. A great goal from Fabregas, but what happens is when they get penetrating in behind these teams, they cannot live with them, because when Fabregas pushes forward, links up with Hazard, when you get behind their back line and you disrupt their back four, that is when Chelsea find the most success, and they shouldn't be waiting for the last few minutes to do this against teams like QPR. They need to start finding Hazard more and quicker, and there's a great chance against Manchester United to do this, because they do like to play Mata higher up the field, and Carrick is not the quickest. If you get him turning, there's definitely a chance there. So that's what I think Chelsea should be doing. Finding Hazard, obviously make sure to watch out for all the fluid runs in behind with Manchester United's abundance of attacking talent that they have at the moment. Chelsea will definitely be confident if they get an early goal, and one of the main factors of doing this is getting the ball to Hazard. Thank you guys for watching here on TYT Sports. Make sure to subscribe. Thank you for letting us appear on Full Time Devils and Chelsea Fans channel. Don't forget to come back over here, leave your comments, continue the conversation. Thanks guys.